Did Kenny Pickett receive fair competition? Did Kenny Pickett not want to be part of the competition? Kenny Pickett, KP8. If you guys are sick of talking about Kenny Pickett, fair enough. Feel free after this little intro, then turn it off, come back for the next video, because I know that it's crazy right now. It is. I did a massive live stream yesterday, over 51 people talking about Kenny Pickett. I just released a video from that live stream talking about Kenny Pickett. And in this video, we're going to talk about Kenny Pickett. Alrighty, so I saw this tweet and there's been some conversation around Twitter, YouTube land, all over the shop in terms of competition via Kenny Pickett, right? Now, I did talk and briefly cover this yesterday in my massive live stream talking about KP8. I still think, honestly, massive shock. Like, I was thinking it was going to be Russell Wilson, even signing Russell Wilson, a few days ago, maybe 4, 5, 6 days ago, whenever that happened, was like, oh my goodness, the Steelers went and signed Russell Wilson. And there's obviously a plan at play with everything Omar Khan, Andy Weidl, Steelers organization's doing, Mike Tomlin, for the fact that they went and got Wilson, Rudolph went to the Titans, there was no love there to bring him back. Look, I would have been okay with Rudolph being a Steeler, but didn't happen. He's now a Titan, back up, trying to go for QB1. And at the same time, when Wilson came in, there must have been a plan at play to, I guess, look, right now, there's no one else on there. There's no other quarterbacks, no Trubisky, no Kenny Pickett, no nothing, no one there. So there must be a plan at play because they kind of traded KP8 really fast. I saw a tweet and there was like a video from Russell Wilson saying he reached out to KP8 in his interview at 12, and then 2 hours later, they traded him away. So this is what comes down to, I think, in these situations. Was it the organization's fault with the Steelers, Mike Tomlin, the Rooneys, everyone like that in the building on that side with the office side? Or was it the players' fault? Who wanted out? I think there's a bit of both. To be very honest, to sit on the fence, and in terms of did Kenny Pickett try to escape competition, I think it's a bit of both. When they went and signed Russell Wilson, I don't think it was going to be a fair competition. So maybe the Steelers and KP8 were trying to work things out and said, by the way, mate, we're not going to give you a fair competition. We're giving Russell Wilson QB1 reps, and you're going to be QB2. Because I could highly doubt seeing that Russell Wilson will be sitting behind KP8. It wasn't going to happen. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of KP8 throughout his whole career. Not really anymore because I follow the team. I wish him well, but I follow the team, that being the Steelers, right? So Russell Wilson came in. You look to have Kenny Pickett being quarterback number 2, pushed down because that's the way it looked like, although they did say they're going to offer competition. But that's when I saw this tweet. I saw this tweet. It was via Aditi King Kwambala. Could never say her name right. No offense to Aditi. Note says here, so Adam Schefter tweeted, Steelers are sending quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Philadelphia Eagles in a pick swap, sources tell. Now, we know that was from where the KP8 trade now is Steelers received 3rd-round pick, 2 7s. Eagles get Kenny Pickett in a 4th as well. So we understand the trade value. And here's what Aditi says here. Note, preferred is not because Kenny Pickett is running away from competition. He was told by the Steelers Wilson would start on the pledge that he'd been given after the 2 years of chaos, which is the Matt Canada stuff, the rookie year, the bad O-line getting better, I guess the injuries too, but, mostly Matt Canada and that kind of stuff. So the chaos. He'd finally been put in position to succeed per sources, appraised of, the convo where Omar Khan said they had faith in him. Tomlin had faith. The whole organization was like, yeah, Kenny Pickett's our guy. He's our number 1. At the same time, though, when they're saying that, KP8 was the only quarterback on the roster. And they went out and got Russell Wilson for a really cheap deal, and they see something in Wilson where they can hopefully elevate this team to get wins. No offense to KP8 in his situation, but you go to his some of his stats, and they're really awful. They're pretty bad. He got, 14-10 wins. His TD ratio to interception in 2 years was 13-13. But I've always been a positive guy talking about Kenny Pickett. I was always about wins and having his back and giving him a chance with a new OC. But obviously, the Steelers, they're trying to move on and have moved on from Kenny Pickett to another team trading him away. And this whole idea about the competition and was it Kenny's fault on KP8, there's now been, I think, the fan base, some of the fan base is, and NFL media are throwing Kenny Pickett under the bus. When in reality to me, I reckon it's both sides are at play. I still feel like that KP8 walked into the office, that Mike Tom was there, they're all there together, and they wanted to find a good solution for both parties. The Steelers move on with KP8, not knowing they're not going to be needing him for the next 2 or 3 years because they have Wilson, and maybe yet they haven't told us what they're doing, but they have a plan to go and get another quarterback to come here and hopefully be the franchise guy or the next guy to take over. I don't think it's Russell Wilson. So this story still needs to be played out from the Steelers side. Now, from the KP8 side, the way I see it is the Steelers give him a chance to go to another organization. Where it gets a bit tricky for me is, though, to be honest, is why would the Pittsburgh Steelers trade to the Eagles and KP8 have to sit behind Jalen Hurts? That is a bit like a head scratcher. Like, why would that happen? Why would you do that, right? So there's the reports out there. There's the rumors that KP8 is pissed off, angry, upset, annoyed, all those things, man, really fired up. And there's like now bad blood between KP8 and the organization. And I think some fans are throwing him on the bus saying he was awful, he was terrible, all these kind of things. Even on the way out, they're trying to kick him down the road, kick him out of the door as fast as they can. Now, you can have your feelings about Kenny Pickett as much as you want. You can have feelings about this channel or whatever, and whatever you may want to do. You may disagree, you can agree, whatever. It doesn't bother me. I'm just here to give you my point of view for what I see in this situation. I don't think it's that bad overall. I still believe, really, to be very honest, it was the organization was doing a deal with Kenny Pickett to maybe give him a fresh start somewhere else. But I don't know why they would give him a fresh start with the Eagles, maybe to be mentored under Hurts. Maybe they can get him to be QB2 for a while. And then that organization, the Eagles, can possibly, I don't know, I'm not even sure, maybe get him ready to find another contract with another team, with his third team. So there's a lot of ifs and whens and buts and whats and wheres and hows and whatevers, right? But I do see a lot of negative hate drawn towards a player that's not even part of our team anymore, right? So I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think, did Kenny Pickett leave on bad terms? Was it his choice to leave? Did Kenny Pickett, want to get out of there as fast as he could? Does Kenny Pickett hate the Steelers, hate this, hate that? I don't think so. I think it's more of a business decision between one NFL team and one guy in a situation where maybe thinks he might have a better deal outside the organization. But it comes down to both sides had play in it, where the owners, Mike Tomlin and Kenny Pickett's side and his agent said, well, let's get out of Pittsburgh because you're not going to play me anyway. There won't be a fair competition, where Russell Wilson didn't sign a $1.2 million vet deal and didn't come to the Steelers to sit on the bench. Russell Wilson signed a contract, in my opinion, what I see, and he didn't sit in the room for 6 hours to sit on the bench behind Kenny Pickett. Russell Wilson, in my opinion, signed that dotted line so he has a chance to be Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback number one and have a chance with his defense and where they can build around the team and hopefully take us to the playoffs and have a chance for a Super Bowl. Did Russell Wilson really sign in terms of that there would be a quarterback competition between Kenny Pickett and Russell Wilson, or even a third quarterback? I don't think so. And that's where it all starts. When he signed, maybe this started to go downhill. And maybe once he signed, then both teams and what parties were, Kenny Pickett and Russell Wilson, and the Steelers were like, well, we've signed Wilson. He's our guy. He's number one. And now Kenny Pickett, we've got to find a way. Can we get some value back for you? And of course, it's a bit of a failure because they went and got him at number one, and now they're getting back picks for 4 and 2 7s. But then they, in some point too, the Steelers did a good thing via Kenny Pickett. If they weren't going to play him 50-50, right? Not going to play you, but we'll trade you away now so you have a chance to be in another team for a fresh start. It's very complicated. I tell you that. If you made it the whole way through and you have waited your comments to the very end, fantastic. But it's very, very complicated. But I tell you what, as time goes on, it won't worry us as much as it really does. And also, when Russell Wilson, or if Russell Wilson plays good football, we'll be like, oh, it's fine. It's all good. The one thing is, though, and I tell you what, the one thing is, if Russell Wilson plays really bad football, terrible football, awful football, and if any quarterback who comes in, because we still don't know who's going to be the next quarterback, they still have to go find two more quarterbacks. Whoever is QB1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they play really awful football, then the fan base and media are going to judge this moment where they didn't pick up Rudolph and they sent away quarterback number 1, pick 20, Kenny Pickett, KP8 to another team. And they're putting all their money, what looks like, in the basket of Russell Wilson. That's what's happening right now. All the money, all the eggs in one basket for one player, being Russell Wilson. If this works out, fantastic. If this doesn't work out, so much pressure is going to go on this organization. However, to me, we just have to wait and see what happens. We can't control it. You can't control it. Steely McBeam can't control it. Only the Pittsburgh Steelers can control what we see and watch. But this is crazy. I still can't believe what I've seen over the last, 24 hours. And I have made a live stream, a video, and now another video. 3 videos on Kenny Pickett, but that's what we're talking about. I'll see you later. Man, this is crazy. Steelers get 3rd round pick, 7th round pick, 7th round pick. And also Eagles get Kenny Pickett, 4th round pick. Was there rustlings with competition? Did Kenny Pickett leave the Steelers on bad terms?